Welcome, everyone, to the Open Channel podcast, where we share through conscious conversation the invitation of further embodiment of unity and higher states of conscious awareness. I'm Shauna Green.
And I'm Evelina Moline. Welcome to this co-created space for people who want to connect and remember the core essence of who they are. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so grateful to have you here with us.
Woohoo! Yay. We're here.
Yay. Yes, we're here again. I'm feeling very delirious today.
It is a wild world out there.
It's so weird. It's like a cross between the giddiness and the joy and the bliss, but yet you're sort of tired. It's like, when you were a kid and you'd have a slumber party and you want to stay up all night with your friends and you're having so much fun, but you're just like, I can't stay awake.
I know.
I kind of feel like that.
So true. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. It does feel like that. It feels like we're meeting all of these unexpected energetic places, both in ways we are delighted to find, and in other ways we're like, whoa, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And yet it all is moving very quickly. And so we're just trying to continue moving through each energetic space and in our aligned state as much as we, feel we are able. And then it can be exhausting.
Yeah.
We can feel like, whoa, how, where's the side of the pool?
Yeah.
Where's
my 5 minutes? Yeah. Yeah. Things are moving so fast. And it's funny because I'm finding that, even when we do a podcast, like whatever comes through, it's like I end up eating my own words like immediately,
Yes.
It's like within the same week, I'm like, oh yeah, of course
Right.
that's happening to me, and it's like everything I say is like turning around on me so quickly. Like even the other day, I was coming up with talking points for an interview, and while I'm talking in an interview, I'm experiencing the lesson that I'm talking about. And I'm like, whoa, it's like I really got to be careful what comes out of my mouth because because it's going to mirror right back around me like immediately. It's almost like it's just happening so fast. It's really cool at the same time. But amazing how fast everything. It's like the awareness is just like dropping in, boom, boom, boom. It's beautiful.
And we're into wholeness in every moment. Like all of it is welcome. Like everything that feels free, we're called into holding. And they may be things that don't make sense at all, but it doesn't matter because the energy is what we're called into. Like stuff that doesn't make logical sense doesn't matter. Like,
yeah,
it's not about the logic. It's about the felt sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And, even my schedule, and we've talked about this before, it's just getting crazier and crazier. The things that I have that I end up doing the next day, I'm like it's so bizarre that like I had no idea that I'd be doing this right now. It's just, and usually that would happen in the past, like over like a long period of time. Like, oh, I never thought last year I'd be doing this, but now it's like, well, I never thought today yesterday I'd be doing this.
Right. Surprise.
I know. Yeah, it's just, and it's the whole, for me, what's happening a lot is just the call to be completely transparent in everything that I'm saying. And, when I'm sharing and talking about like personal things, because I'm not someone who shares, this, I'm perfectly happy being on the back wall, being a wallflower and just listening to everyone else share and not saying anything. And, and so I'm being called to, come out and share more. And I'm like, I'm so being urged to share things that are like the most vulnerable, humiliating kind of type of experiences. I'm like, this is what I got to start with? Like, really? Like, why can't I just start with something that's, neutral or, something fun? Like, yes, I saw this. And, I could hear my guides like, I don't know, you're going to learn to do this and you're going to air out your closet and do all this at the same time. And I'm like, I don't think so, and, I'm constantly hearing my mind wanting to edit what I'm saying, like the details of what I'm saying. And they're like, no, share that. That's the good stuff right there.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff right there. And I'm like, no, no, you're not here. You are not here.
They're like, this is the path.
Yeah, it's like, okay, let's just get naked.
Yeah. Yeah. We are. We are having to be completely in our wholeness, no matter what that looks like.
Yeah, because it's that holding on to the personality that's really that gets in the way. I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
it's it's that whole facade of how you want to present yourself, how you want to look,
Right.
how you think you want to look to the world, how you want to look to yourself, and it's all such an illusion. And
All illusion.
when you let go of all those little fragments, because it's so multifaceted. It's like you can let go of things, but then there's pieces and threads over here, still with the personality, and it's just so incredible to experience what we're
It
experiencing.
is. We are just called more and more into being with each moment and allowing energy to guide us, no matter
Mm,
what it looks like. Like,
mhm.
even if it means saying embarrassing things, even if it means,
Yeah.
doing something that we hadn't wanted to do or didn't think was something we do. Perhaps it is in that moment because that's what that moment is calling for.
Mhm.
And we're just having to be in discomfort sometimes with that because that's okay. We can just be with what feels free, even though it doesn't um, fit with whatever we have said we would do. Like I was, um, I was doing email yesterday, and an email popped through with a discount coupon for a store that
Mhm.
I, in a prior iteration of myself would have looked at. And I, felt into the energy like, oh, that was part of this that I've outgrown. And I checked in with my guides in universe and they're like, yeah.
Mhm.
And so I thought, well, okay, the energy is telling me to go back there. So I did. And they were like comfortable pants. And I thought,
Mhm.
well, that's not really the chapter I've evolved into now. That's not, and they're like, yeah,
Mhm.
great, do it, it's great. So, there were a couple pairs on sale. I thought, okay, well, this is not where I am now. And it isn't necessarily like not all the fibers are from nature. And
Mhm.
I've, been committing to only having natural fibers. And they're like, oh, but they're really comfortable. And the freedom of movement is actually really important for you. So I'm like, okay, well, so I'm just feeling into each moment, like, even though on paper it might not have added up energetically and according to my guides, this was what needed to happen in
Mhm.
that moment. And even if I return them in a week because the energy is different then, I have followed the energies in those moments, even if it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense, even if it doesn't seem to be the greatest use of time or resources or whatever. In the moment, that's what was called for.
Yeah.
I just have
Yeah.
to trust.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to it's like your past patterns, they almost have to, like, come and revisit, like, "Hey, remember me?"
Yep.
And then you have to, like, "Oh, let me see," and you have to kind of experience it, and then it's like you get the validation, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not me anymore." It's like a revisit,
Right.
but it's almost for you to see how far you've come
Right. And
because 'cause
to
you're not really
remind
diving
you,
into that wormhole.
right, we're not
Yeah.
diving energetically into the wormhole, and it's to let us know that there was never any, like, that there's no judgment around any parts of ourselves from
Mhm.
those pieces, like if there was a part of us that would have experienced any kind of shame
Yeah.
from a choice like that we are not called into that shame,
No.
that it isn't about judgment of any
Yeah.
sort,
Yeah,
that
it's
all we're
about
doing.
forgiveness.
Yes,
It's yeah, because
exactly.
forgiveness is the opposite of judgment. So when you
Exactly.
can really hold that in your heart and forgive, it like that's like the super, racetrack to opening your heart is just
Exactly.
forgiving that because, how could you judge yourself or anyone, for an experience or something that happened in the past because that's just the level of consciousness you were at.
Exactly.
How could that be wrong?
Right.
That was just the awareness you had at that point. How can that be wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it becomes so simple. It's so easy to drop the story when you look at it that way.
Exactly. And the illusion, we were talking about the illusion that none of it's real anyway. They're roles, and we are simply,
Yeah.
just coming into the truth of who we are. Like any decision that you make around, what you buy and don't buy, it's all part of a role.
Yeah.
Anything, where there might be judgment is a story.
Yes. Yeah. And they're all just steps. The roles, it's like, it doesn't really matter. You're just taking that step or playing that role so you can learn.
Right.
It's not identifying with that role because we're all here just, playing the same game,
Right.
just in different ways.
Exactly. And it's like we're simply reminding ourselves over and over and over again right now that, oh yeah, it was a game, and oh yeah, we're stepping out of the game now,
Mm-hmm.
and these roles are not going to be what's alive for us as we keep stepping along the path.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting how so many people, I hear a lot about people getting caught up in, what's my next step? What is that next step for me? And it's funny because, most people, they don't know what their next step is because they don't have any of that inspiration. Yet the easiest way to do that is just to tap into your true nature and connect with that gratitude, love, and joy, because, that's what's going to open up that your field and allow for that inspiration and that next step to
But
come in and blossom.
In the present moment too,
Yeah.
that if we're thinking about the next step, then we're not in the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not allowing the field of sensation to fill us completely so that whatever is supposed to be created through us can arise.
Right, because it's like an energy flow. It's like the
Exactly.
inspiration. It's not a oh, this is what you do. It's an energy flow that points you in a direction. And when then you follow that direction, those steps become known to you because you're in the energy of joy, gratitude, and love. And then, like, all the things that you want, they follow. Then the abundance, when you get into alignment, it's like then the abundance comes.
Yeah.
Then the home, the career, the relationships, all the things. It's the reverse. Most people, they want to focus on the things they want. But it's like, no, all you have to do is you come here and those things naturally come. The byproduct of you being in here is you get to serve other people. You get to help other
Exactly.
people. The byproduct of that is you get all the things that you want, that you're supported. The universe supports you because you're so in alignment, not the other way around. Instead of like, oh, what do I need to do to serve other people so I can come into alignment, so I can open my heart, so I can feel that joy? Well, why not just start with the feeling?
Yeah.
Why
Start
not
at the
just go
end.
right to the joy?
That's right. Start to the part that is what you're seeking in the first place, and that's what brings what is needed to get there.
Yeah, because it's the feeling that's the most important.
Exactly.
It's and you realize, well, it's not what the thing that you think you're going to get that brings you that feeling is that's less important than the feeling. And you realize, oh, well, this is what I wanted to begin with. It was the feeling I wanted to begin with.
These are the limitations we're breaking
Yeah.
down, is that there has to be a linearity to it. We're breaking
Yeah.
down that there is limitation at all.
Yeah.
That we have had in previous iterations of ourselves, the perceptions of what have to be in place in order for our joy to be present. And they're just totally false.
Yeah.
We can just be joy. The end.
Yeah. Because all the other things, they're just experiences. They're not
Right.
what actually brings you the joy. It's
Right.
the illusion that they bring you the joy because
Exactly.
you are that which you are seeking.
Exactly.
It's already
And-
here.
And you always have been.
Yeah. So then the experiences are just like, oh, well, that's just an experience. And yeah, that was nice, but there's no attachment to that. This is nice. There's no attachment to that because you're always in that state.
Exactly.
So it almost becomes irrelevant.
Exactly. It's just an expression. There
Yeah.
are different ways of expressing the same felt sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so simple, but yet, boy, do we get challenged with that.
Yep. And those are the realizations we're needing to process in the body as
Yeah.
we allow the body to have a different program.
Yeah. Yeah. Where most people get caught up is they're waiting for the physical to give them the permission, to give
Right.
them the validation that they can feel this way.
Yeah. And it's
and
just,
we don't need permission.
we don't need permission.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
are it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I am that so I can experience that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's so beautiful how
It
everything
is.
just points right back into everything. It's like it's just culminating more powerful and more powerful. It's just like I'm just seeing it everywhere I turn.
These are amazing and miraculous times. Just things that come up and are pulled into our field for us to meet them and celebrate.
Mhm.
We are just um, continuing the. I'm just seeing this image of kind of like the aurora borealis, except it's white.
Mm. Mhm.
Just that's what we are. We're this beautiful expression of what's becoming even more bright and light and magical. And we've always been this. We're just now having the freedom to see it.
Mhm.
And it's just flowing through our vessel.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Hence the deliriousness.
Exactly.
It's like every day is so like every day feels so different. Like my body's reacting so differently. Sometimes
Mhm.
there's spurts of energy, and other times I'm just like, whew.
Yeah. Just a day of total fatigue on,
Yeah.
I think it was Sunday or something. Just completely and my whole family just like,
Yeah. Because
we're just
everyone's
feeling like,
it's happening to everyone.
yeah,
Aware or not, it does.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, just they all wanted, just like, ugh, I don't have any energy to do anything today. No, well,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you think about the changes that are happening in the body, um, so massive. We don't see it now, but it's like we really underestimate like the what's really happening.
hmm no, it is incredible all the cellular transformation that is occurring in our
Yeah.
systems,
Yeah.
and the way that the cells are having to adapt to the higher vibrations,
Mhm.
the way that the spinning of electrons is speeding up,
Mhm. Mhm.
and how the giddiness, the fatigue, it's all part of feeling into quantum life. This is life in quantum shifts. We're moving faster and quicker than we ever have before. And so understandably the body is going to need some time to incorporate that energy, and also will experience whatever fast acceleration is sensed too. So just to remember that our physical forms are kind of new to this. And
Yeah,
just
no there's no doubt about
compassion.
that. Yeah. Yeah. And just, like I'm finding myself just doing things completely off my normal schedule, which is awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
completely taking my walks at different times. I'm
Yep.
like, wow, like I am just like, really stepping out of the program.
Yep. Completely.
Even
That
my own
happened.
little micro programs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I am so with you on that. But usually, I speak of how I go hiking every
Yeah.
morning and I go out on the land, and it was so jumbled yesterday. Totally not
Yeah.
the pattern that I was called into service in other ways, and then that part came after, and um eating came in a different order, and it was okay. I didn't care. There's just no
Yeah.
attachment to
Yeah.
patterns, because it was all good. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, we'll just do
Yeah.
it this other way today.
Yeah. Yeah. And with food, like you're saying with eating, like I'm finding that I'm not really getting hungry anymore.
Yeah.
And the hunger is just like not really even noticeable.
Mhm.
It's very strange. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I need to eat something." Like, "Oh, well, maybe."
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah. So I'm finding myself like skipping, then I'm like, "Well, I don't really need this." They're like, "Oh, you think about the nutrition." I'm like, "Oh, I don't really need that. That's an illusion too."
Right?
It's like really stepping out of all of it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
all just illusion. We're all the patterns are illusion.
Yeah. Yeah, it just goes to show you how strong your belief carries, how much weight
Mhm.
your belief sort of, puts the parameters on your reality, like really defines the reality. It creates the reality.
Yeah. And the way that we have been programmed with those things for so long is is understandable. Like it's understandable that it feels discombobulating when we don't do things in those orders, or when
Mhm.
we don't eat when we, feel like traditionally that's when people eat. And it's so, um, just to, I guess, again, call in more compassion for
Mhm.
yourself and for other people when they're telling you to eat, when they're saying, oh, aren't you going to eat? And you're
Yeah.
not eating and
Yeah,
you
everybody
don't feel
wants to
like it.
enforce their program.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just that there sometimes others, because of this discombobulation, are feeling like they need the side of the pool. And maybe
Yeah.
for them, the very program you're releasing is something that they want as the side of the pool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so beautiful how that happens. I love that. Especially when you're around other people and you're all processing different things at the same time. That can
Yeah.
be like a whole dynamic right there happening.
In the collective, we're the micro of the macro, right?
Yeah.
So just compassion for yourself and for everyone, because
Mhm.
each journey is so different, and each moment the energies are shifting in ways that we're not expecting. So just knowing that everyone is going through that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I love how like compassion, is when you're looking at it towards yourself, it's like it's really allowing that surrender. It's like they're so intertwined when you just surrender to um whatever's there, because it's like that dance between, experiencing a moment that is, that you don't want to be in, that's so uncomfortable, and knowing that the next moment is there and not there yet, and having that dance of, oh, but I am beyond all of this. I am whole, and
Mhm.
holding that faith, because it's the faith that's like that holds that. The faith makes this moment far more enjoyable. It
Yes.
makes it far more an easier moment to maneuver through.
Yes. Our faith is what holds our truths um as sacred.
Mhm.
It is what um it's the only solid thing we have.
Yeah.
It's the only truly inviolable thing.
Yeah.
Our faith, our truth, and
Mhm.
our love. Like the faith in our love.
Yeah. Yeah, because our natural state is, abundance, wholeness, fullness, expansion, sovereign,
Yeah.
and just joy. So, it's that whole concept of, I need to do something or get something in the next moment to have that space, and that flips it and makes you come from that place of lack, and I'm not content. This moment is not enough,
Mm.
And so just really having that faith and surrendering that, everything I have is everything I need is right here. It's
Yes.
all right here. The universe is supporting me. I just have to have that trust. I just have to have that faith.
Yep.
And then you let go. And then it's like you let go of the illusion
Yeah.
that the moment that there was nothing wrong there anyway.
Right.
Because you're just creating it. It's
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 just as it should
it's
be.
so genius when you think about it. Like the setup of this matrix, it's genius. It's just the most incredible experience to go through what we're going through.
Absolutely. And
This
to be able to get to step out of it, to have the
Yeah,
perspective
to
of
see it,
being
to be
able,
in it.
right.
It's like, here's the movie. You want to play a role in it? You want to be in it? Do you want to stand on the side like everyone else? The other ultra dimensional beings, like they're watching, but yet we get to play in it. Like, how cool is that?
And then we get to also have the perspective of what it is to realize that we've been in it.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
a gift to be
Yeah.
able to realize this and then be able to relinquish that and go back to our truths,
Yeah.
to be able to let go of the game.
Yeah. And just really having gratitude for those uncomfortable moments,
Yes.
because you're gonna. It's funny to say, you will actually miss those,
Mhm.
because it's like that's the drama of life, right? Like you don't go to a movie and it's all bliss and because that's boring, right? Like where's the drama? You know, the dramas are the ones that everyone's attracted to. So it's like we're getting to experience that and feel it in our body. So it's like leaning into the uncomfortableness, leaning into it
Yeah.
and having gratitude for that. And because there's gifts, that's the gift is getting to feel that
Yeah.
in itself. Never mind the gift that's on the other side of it, the embodiment that you get when you surrender to it, but just the experience alone of it,
Yeah.
the diversity that we're getting to experience.
Mm.
Yeah. Feeling so much gratitude right now. It's like
So
little
much gratitude.
sprinkles all around. It's like, woo, I can feel it.
I know. I can too. I'm feeling called to a more inward um moment of experiencing that energy because I'm experiencing the sprinkles of energy
Yeah,
too, and
yeah. It's
it's
when you started talking and you paused, I was like, oh, there it is.
yeah, there it is. We can feel
I
it.
could, I knew, because I knew. I was like, you paused. I was like, oh yeah, because I'm feeling that too.
Yeah, we're going in.
Oh, I love it.
I
It's
love
so
it.
awesome when we get to a point, with everyone, with everyone we meet, where the energy is what is the guiding factor of the communication and not the
Yeah,
words,
right.
because that's when you're living in truth. You're
Yes.
totally living in truth. You're communicating in truth, and there's no misunderstanding. There's just only love and acceptance for each
Yes.
other.
Yes. Just the felt sense of
Mm-hmm.
the very powerful energies that are coming
Mm-hmm.
through.
Such amazing, amazing. And today, and as I'm sitting here
Mm.
with my eyes closed, feeling an energy, it just dropped
Mhm.
in that today is the first, so tomorrow is the
Yep.
second,
Tomorrow
which
is the second.
on some places on the planet right now, it is the second.
Yep.
So that
2/2 of
that yeah,
2022.
that energy of that date is, it's here now
It
in
is
parts of the
here.
planet. So it's like it's interesting that as we're sitting here dropping into this, that's sort of coming through. That energy of 2/2 is starting to
It is.
reveal itself.
I tend to feel the coming through of those big energies of those days as they're approaching. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
the pulling into
Mm-hmm.
that force of energy as we're moving into it and not necessarily like later that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
um
Yeah.
so big openings.
Mm-hmm. Just taking some deep breaths, grounding in, grounding our feet, grounding into the center of Gaia.
Lifting your heart, lifting your frame so that alignment in your body is there for whatever needs to flow through.
And really feeling your body, really feeling the weight of the body, the weight of your hands, the weight of your arms, the weight of your shoulders. Just let everything fall down into the gravity of around you.
Mm. Just feeling into the energy. Where do you feel it in your system the most? Right now, my feet are buzzing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, my feet, my hands.
Mm-hmm. Just noticing where it's alive for you. I'm feeling it near my
Mm-hmm.
third eye too.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing a lot of emerald green coming in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Feeling flow, allowing anything that feels like is not flow to be met with curiosity and exploration. Any tightness, any tension, any blockages. Just allow a feeling into those places.
Breathing into those places.
Mm.
being,
expansion.
yeah, we're really being showered right now.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep. Feeling really expanded through the head.
Lots of like cosmic,
Mm-hmm.
uh, flowy kind of sparkles coming
Yep.
in. Very galactic feeling.
Mm-hmm. Just allowing the warmth, allowing the temperatures. Maybe it's coolness you're sensing. So much change in the body with energies often accompanies temperature changes.
Just using the breath to relax all the muscles where you normally hold tension. Allowing the energies to flow into those spaces, opening up those spaces. I keep seeing, that it's really time for all of us to just really trust the process, really trust what's happening, trust in yourself, trust in the universe is supporting you.
And trusting in what you feel. Just trusting that that navigational tool is needing to be more relied upon. That our brain is here to accompany us, but that the felt senses are regaining more of the steering wheel.
Yes, that inner navigational guidance is speaking to you all the time. It's speaking from your true nature, not to your true nature, because you are that already.
Yes.
So when there is something off, it is simply your higher self turning away from that which is not love, from that which is not in alignment. And it's that turning away that we interpret as suffering. So listening to that pointing of your higher self when there's something that is off or disturbing, bringing yourself back and allowing your perception to be corrected by your higher self. When you ask, when you are open to receiving, your higher self will give you the answer, will point you in the right direction.
And conversely, when the universe brings you alive in some way, that it's drawing you towards something that you're meant to follow, that there's an energy that is drawing you forward, that is feeling like it's pulling you into a new set of steps, that there is something alive that is to be followed, explored, and perhaps wallowed in.
Yeah, it's like the calling. I'm seeing like when you have that calling where there's no choice anymore. The calling is so strong
Yeah.
that it's not a choice.
No, it's not a choice.
You're just being you. You're just expressing you.
It's endemic to you. It is you. I'm just seeing spinning energy. I'm just seeing like a vortex of spinning energy.
Spinning so fast. We're all
So
spinning so
fast.
fast. Everything, all the light in us spinning so fast.
And it literally just sped up our audio.
Just taking a moment to be absolutely still with all this spinning, with all this energy coming in, and just watching, witnessing, and allowing it to be wherever it needs to flow.
What shapes does the energy seem to take for you? We're invited more in these days to be curious with our energies. We're able to sense more, and as we do, we're called into exploring the properties that we feel they hold. And so just exploring what is possible as new frontiers open for us in exploring our energies. Are there shapes that you notice with the energies? Do they morph into other shapes, other forms? Is the energy being expressed as temperature, as color, as light, as heat, as sound? There's so many ways that the energies can be moving. So just noticing what is felt and what impact our intention has on it. As we feel into energies that are pleasing to us, do we magnetize more of that to us? What seems to be happening as you bring intention to the energy that you notice?
Mm. Yeah, it's like a intermingling of your how you meet the energy can shift the energy within itself, and then it becomes a whole nother frequency. So how you meet what is occurring is just as important. Your intention and your response to it.
It's like, how does our love frequency impact everything it meets?
Mm-hmm.
How does that wavelength impact any other wavelengths that it contacts?
I'm feeling so much like love and joy right now. My eyes are
Mm-hmm.
actually watering. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Me
having
too.
water drip down my face. So incredible.
And water. I mean, just the liquid flow of the energy that can flow in liquid form as plasma. Just noticing what new availability of options there are. The energy is buzzing so much, I feel it along my jaw bones. Just buzzing, buzzing. And colors.
Very like pearl like
Yes, exactly.
iridescent.
Yeah, pearly, slightly iridescent, sparkly still.
Mm-hmm. Rainbows of greens and pinks.
Yes, exactly. I'm just noticing what sacred geometry seems to be magnetizing you these days. Just noticing shapes.
Noticing how the universe is speaking to you
Mm-hmm.
at every moment. You could say that your life experiences are your higher self showing you the way. You're not separate from your life. You are life.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, I am life. My
Mm-hmm.
higher self is my life. My higher self is my
Mm-hmm.
experiences. I am all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing everything as what it is there to show you.
And being okay with spaciousness and openness and silence.
So much amazing energy right now, completely feeling so much deep gratitude and joy and love at the moment. And the words just don't even
Mm-mm.
do it justice.
No. Words are a feeble attempt to contain what is uncontainable about this energy. Just had a
Absolutely
burst of that
incredible.
light.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same
My
pearly,
whole
pinky
body is
green.
just like, wow.
Yep.
I'm completely lit up.
Yep. I'm feeling the just waves of electricity.
I keep seeing this rainbow of, it's not really a rainbow, but it's like a pearl. It's spherical
Yep.
and it's got every color imaginable in it, but
Yep.
they're very soft colors.
Yep.
They're not bold.
Mm-mm.
Just surrounding us and encompassing us in this sphere of
Yep.
incredible energy and light.
Yep. I'm seeing it too. And it just keeps morphing, almost like a like a giant bubble, like soap bubbles, like a
Yes,
huge
yeah.
soap bubble.
So perfect of an analogy.
All the swirling, and I mean, as kids, we probably watched soap bubbles for hours, right? Just looking in the sink or in a pond or something after a rain, and
Yeah,
froth.
even feels like we're just floating in it, like just allowing ourselves just to let go, just let go, let it all go. Just enjoying this moment. Nothing else. Nothing else exists other than this right now.
Just sensation and energy.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
I'm just hearing, remember this, remember this. Stay in this throughout your next 24 hours. Just really remembering this space.
I'm getting the words light, aliveness, space, flow, peace.
What a beautiful meditation this turned out to be.
We could just stay here,
I know.
Who cares if our podcast is 14 hours long?
Yeah, of silence.
We're just in the energy. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Light's shimmering even more with our laughter and bliss.
So much gratitude. So grateful to be in this moment, to be on this journey. Grateful. It's just unfolding and opening even more amazement for me. Amazement and just the awe. Like I'm just in complete awe of what's happening and being able to have this experience and to forget who you are and then to remember in a physical form is miraculous.
Miraculous.
Such a unique experience we're having. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
I'm getting this image as all the energies are spinning and swirling, and I'm seeing these vortexes and feeling the spinning energies of the electrons in my body, and just remembering back to childhood when you'd get on the merry-go-round, those little the ones at the park where it's a you hold on, and then the centrifugal force as you continue to push and run and spin, it goes so fast that you hold on and you just enjoy the giddiness, and you allow the forces to pull
Mhm.
you to the edge, to the
Mhm.
outside edge where you could fall off, but you're
Yeah.
holding on to the bliss of that moment of just spinning,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
energy is just washing over you, and
It's pure joy. It's
you could
pure
fall
joy.
off, but
Yeah.
you're held by those forces,
Yeah.
and just allowing that, you can get off the ride at any time, but just knowing that it's spinning right now and it feels bliss.
Mhm. It's interesting too how, you know, those rides don't really exist anymore. I think they've been
No.
removed from most of the playgrounds because they're considered dangerous. You know,
Right.
it's dangerous to allow yourself to let go. So it's funny how it's a reflection of our own programming.
Mm,
Yeah.
what a ride. Mm. Oh, my eyes opened. I was gonna stay there all day, but
I know.
Ooh,
Easily can be done.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, that was delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, much longer than we normally do, but that was, so beautiful and, so calming and, reassuring, actually.
Yeah.
It felt very nurturing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, me too, my eyes were watering during
Mhm.
that one.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for being here, whether you're hearing this in recorded form or not, you're with us.
Mhm.
And we just welcome your energy as part of this experience.
Yeah. 'Cause it is
Mm,
all a co-creation, it's all,
yes,
you know, community. We're here as a collective.
we are one.
Yeah. So grateful. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to be here. I'm just so full of joy right now.
So grateful. So much gratitude
Yeah.
for this journey and this set of steps that we're
Mhm.
taking now.
Yeah.
And all the steps that have brought us here and all our future steps to come.
Yeah. 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 So sending lots of love to everyone on their journey,
Mm,
regardless of what you're experiencing, just
yeah,
knowing, remembering, loving yourself and all of those around you.
yeah. And
Such a
compassion.
beautiful trip we're on.
Yes,
Such a,
yes, indeed.
yeah. Thank you.
Much love, everyone.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.